Let's get into it. This quote really sets the stage for everything we're about to explore. Jon Krakauer's Into Thin Air, it's so much more than just a story about climbing Everest. It's really this deep dive into the very idea of elevation and collapse, and I mean that both literally and metaphorically. It's a truly harrowing exploration of what happens when people push way past their limits, physically, emotionally, and even morally. Through the unforgettable lens of that 1996 Everest disaster, Krakauer just sketches this brutal landscape where ambition collides head-on with human fragility, and nature responds with this absolute chilling indifference. But here's the thing. This story isn't just confined to a mountain. Its lessons echo right into our own lives, our decisions at work, our personal goals, and how we lead when we're in a crisis. It's really about those moments where clarity just fades and that thin air of ego, expectation, and exhaustion starts to distort our reality. So to really get how this tragedy unfolded, we have to look at how the whole culture of climbing Everest had changed. It used to be seen as something of a spiritual pilgrimage. But by the 90s, it had turned into a much more transactional, almost commercial pursuit. Okay, so on the mountain that year, you had two main teams, adventure consultants and mountain madness, and they found themselves locked in this high-stakes competition. Rob Hall's team, adventure consultants, they were famous for their professionalism, but even they were feeling that mounting commercial pressure. Then you had Scott Fisher's rival team, Mountain Madness, which just added to the complexity. Their mix of guides and clients led to some seriously fragmented leadership on that crucial summit day. And the clients themselves? They were a really diverse group. I'm talking seasoned climbers right alongside ambitious amateurs. But on Everest, the mountain just doesn't care about your resume. Krakauer does this incredible job of making you feel every single step of the ascent with this granular intensity. You feel the thinning air that, ironically, swells the ego while it's draining your oxygen. The frostbitten fingers fumbling with essential gear. And the terrifying hallucinations that blur your judgment in a place where literally every choice is life or death. The way he describes Summit Day moment by moment, it reads like a thriller. But it's a thriller where every single decision is just steeped in regret. What happened was a cascade of critical errors that led to the disaster. First, that 2 p.m. turnaround time, a crucial safety rule, was just ignored. Everybody was in the grip of what climbers call summit fever. Then came the delays, bottlenecks of climbers, missing fixed ropes, all draining precious time and energy. And right as they started their descent, the storm hit. With visibility gone, it became this desperate struggle just to survive. And it's in this chaos that the guide Rob Hall's decision to stay with a struggling client, Doug Hansen, became this tragic testament to his loyalty. His final words to his wife, broadcast over the radio from the roof of the world, are just a haunting reminder of the human cost of it all. Krakauer's own descent is just a blur of disorientation. He manages to make it back, and just barely, only to suffer this devastating realization that others have perished, some of them within shouting distance of the safety of camp. The whole disaster really forces us to reflect on what it means to lead, especially when everything is on the line. On Everest, we learn a hard lesson. The strongest climbers are not always the best leaders. In those moments, what you really need is emotional intelligence, that delicate balance of empathy and detached, clear-headed decision-making. The lack of a single clear leader created this vacuum of authority. You had multiple expeditions operating independently, and that led to confusion and a critical lack of coordination right when it was needed most. And Rob Hall's choice to stay with Hansen, while it was deeply noble, it raises a difficult, painful question. At what point does our compassion become a liability? When does a sense of duty cross the line into actual danger? In Krakauer's telling, leadership isn't about command and control. No, it's about clarity, timing, and restraint. It's about having the strength to know when to turn back, even when the summit is right there, just within your grasp. And even though this all happened on a distant peak, the disaster really amplifies themes that resonate so deeply in our modern world. The mountain basically becomes a mirror for our own lives. Let's just take the idea of ambition versus prudence. The climber's relentless drive to reach the summit, pushing past all the safety limits, is such a powerful metaphor for our own unyielding pursuit of success, sometimes at any cost. And then there's the commercialization of Everest, turning this sacred mountain into a product that you can just buy. That reflects a much broader tendency in our culture, doesn't it? To commodify even the most profound human experiences, just packaging them up for consumption.
What makes this book so incredibly powerful is that Krakauer doesn't just tell the story, he's constantly questioning his own role in it. His writing is almost a form of confession. It's filled with the self-reproach that you so rarely see in adventure writing. He also forces us, the readers, to navigate these conflicting truths. His critique of other climbers, like Anatoly Bukriv, sparked huge controversy, and it leaves you wondering about the reliability of memory itself, especially when it's been filtered through trauma. From the sheer exhilaration of the climb to the absolute depths of survivor's guilt, Krakauer just captures the full emotional spectrum with incredible power.
It's a heavy question to sit with.
His style combines journalistic detail with this deep, literary soul, and it shapes a narrative where altitude itself becomes a metaphor. And in the end, we're left with this haunting question. What do we truly see when we're closest to the sky?
Ultimately, Into Thin Air asks all of us to consider the real price of our ambitions. What is the weight of success if it costs someone else their life? What good is reaching the summit if you can never again sleep through the night? To climb Everest is to test the absolute limits of human desire. But as Krakauer's memoir teaches us, the true measure of that journey, it doesn't lie in reaching the top. It lies in having the wisdom to know when to turn back and in what we choose to carry with us on that long, difficult descent.